Congressional votes on a military strike on Syria have been delayed, but in a speech last night, President Obama still requested authorization to act. We're now joined live by Congressman Sean Duffy via phone from his office in Washington for his reaction. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sean. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Now, you've been opposed to a military strike, and last week you said the president hadn't convinced you yet. Did anything change with last night's address?
No, if you look at and listen to the address from last night, I think the president still hasn't made the case to Congress and still hasn't made the case to the American people why we should continue on this war footing. And even last night, I mean, I think there's a lot of concern about the direction the president's taking us and what his plan and strategy is for success. In one breath, he's making the argument for war, keeping us on the war footing, but also then making the case for diplomacy. And again, I don't understand, and I don't think the American people understand what the end goal is with any action in Syria. The president hasn't laid out a plan to take out Assad, have regime change. He hasn't made stated a plan to take out Assad's chemical weapons. There's no clarity here for the American people or the world in what this president's plan is.
So now the situation has changed considerably in just the past 36 hours. In your briefings on the issue, how often was Russia discussed?
Well, obviously, Russia is being brought up and discussed in regard to this diplomacy, but in regard to the overall plan, no further than that. And I was in a briefing a couple days ago where the president was trying to sell Congress on still military action, and the first person he brought out to talk to our conference was Susan Rice. And remember, a year ago, the attacks in Benghazi, Susan Rice was the one who came out on the Sunday talk shows and talked about the attack being caused by a YouTube video instead of a 9/11 attack. So she doesn't have a lot of credibility within our conference. And again, it leads us to a lot of frustration and a lack of clarity of where the president wants to take us.
Now, the president mentioned the word stakes several times. Do you think it was fair for the president to evoke the images of children suffering from the effects of chemical weapons as a way to show the stakes?
No, well, listen, I think it was powerful to mention the effects of chemical weapons and who they impact. It's not just adults; it's women, it's children, it's families, and all of our hearts go out to those who were victims of that attack. But if you look, the president, after he found out about this attack, he knew about attacks that had come before in Syria with chemical weapons, and instead of taking action, he dithered. He told the world what his plan was going to be, that he was going to attack, giving Assad time to move his assets, his planes, his tanks, into secure locations or into civilian populations, which now puts the president in a difficult position where there really is no positive outcome with military action. Again, I think this has been a blundered foreign policy, and there's not a lot of good options left.
All right, Congressman Sean Duffy, live from Washington. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Have a great day.
We'll have additional